Imagine owning your dream vacation home, which is easy to imagine, but then imagine it doesn't cost you to own it, or maybe you even make money owning it. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm standing here at my new lake house in Kalispell, Montana, and on this video, I'm gonna show you how to own a vacation home for free, coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Virtual Flipper Kit with everything you need to flip houses without seeing them in person. Download it now at virtualflipperkit.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton, and I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping houses. And after doing thousands of deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. My wife and I just bought this lake house on the most spectacular private all sports Lake Blaine in Kalispell, Montana. And our plan is to use this house as often as we want as our family's personal vacation lake home. And I'll even use it for some business retreats, which is a tax write-off. And then when we're not using it, I'll rent it as a vacation home. And since this house will rent for $800 a night, it will more than pay for itself. That way, I essentially own it for free. So if you'd like to do the same thing, I have 5 tips for you to find and own the perfect vacation home for free. But first, before even considering investing in a vacation home, make sure you fully understand your personality when it comes to how you like to vacation. Do you like to go to the same familiar place where you vacation, or do you prefer to explore new places? For my wife, Anne-Marie, she is very nostalgic. She loves creating memories around the consistency of what's familiar. It allows her to plan and build anticipation and create traditions that everyone looks forward to. For me, on the other hand, I love the adventure of the unknown. I love finding new places and the change of scenery. Years ago, I took my family on a year-long cross-country RV trip. At the time, we only had 6 kids. Now we have 10. But my favorite part of that trip was not knowing where we were going beforehand and discovering new places. We would literally drive until we found somewhere cool to check out. It was so fun. So for me, the idea of going to the same place to vacation every time is not very appealing. Now, I overcame that concern and I bought this lake house for 2 reasons. Kalispell has a lot of different things to do, from hunting and fishing and hiking and ATVs, skiing in the winter, and my all-time favorite, boating, which includes tubing, wakeboarding, wake surfing, and swimming. Not only is this lake spectacular with the mountains, but it does not have a public launch, so it's private just to the residents on the lake. Anyways, there's a lot to do and a lot to explore, so I won't get bored. And the second reason, which was very important to me, is I don't feel pressure that I have to come here every time. If I want to go to the beach in California or Disney World in Florida or Cancun, Mexico, or wherever, then I rent out this house for $800 a night and I go somewhere else. Since it's income producing, the pressure is off. Honestly, I would not have bought this house if that were not the case. So make sure you are clear about your intentions when owning a vacation home. So in order to find and own a vacation home for free, I have 5 tips for you. The first tip is to make sure you choose a high destination location, somewhere that draws a lot of tourism and therefore has high demand for vacation rental homes. When vacationing, for most people, renting a home for the week is much more desirable than a hotel. Now, my last vacation rental I owned was in St. George, Utah, near Zion's National Park. Now, Zion's is the 4th most visited national park in the US with over 4 million visitors a year. That creates a high demand for vacation rentals. This lake house is close to Glacier National Park, which gets over 3 million visitors annually and draws a huge tourism crowd and a lot of vacationers. Lake homes like this are booked all summer, and with 2 ski resorts, winter draws a crowd as well. The point is, choose a vacation home that has high demand. The way to find out is to go on vacation rental sites such as VRBO and Airbnb.com and look up homes in your desired vacation market and check out the booking history and availability of rental homes and what's already booked out in the future. What I love about this house is lake houses in Kalispell do not have vacancies. Once you identify a high demand vacation area, the second tip to owning your own vacation home for free is very important, and that's to make sure that overnight rental is permissible. Now, many communities have ordinances against overnight rental. Some HOA communities also have restrictions. Now, my St. George vacation home was not zoned for overnight rental, which was extremely frustrating because I could easily rent that house for $5,000 a week, but I wasn't allowed to because overnight rental was restricted. Now, the loophole that I found was that I could rent it every 30 days, as that was no longer considered overnight rental, but that limited my ability to rent it when I wanted. Now, this lake home in Montana does not have any overnight rental restrictions. All right, the third tip to owning a vacation home for free is to find a home that can accommodate a minimum of 10 guests. Now, ideally more like 12 to 14. While you can certainly rent a smaller home that sleeps less than 10, coming from experience, the reason why 10 or more is so desirable for vacation rentals is because two families will vacation together and they'll go in on one house and split the cost, making it more affordable, even though it's more expensive to rent. So for example, if it costs $800 a night, that's only $400 for each family, which isn't that much more than a hotel. And this is less about square footage than it is about beds. With my new Montana lake house, it's currently only about 2,000 square feet, but I'm going to completely remodel the home. I'm going to redo the floor plan, and I'm going to redesign it for two families. The best floor plan for two families has an open kitchen living room for when everyone can hang out together. It has a master suite with a king bed and bathroom for the first set of adults, has a second smaller master with a queen bed and bathroom for the second set of adults, and then it has a boys' bunk room and a girls' bunk room with bunk beds for all the kids combined. That's exactly what I'm going to create with my Montana house. Now, my goal is to comfortably sleep 12. Not only will that accommodate my big family, but it'll also make it very desirable as a vacation rental. Okay, tip number 4 to own a vacation rental for free is to make sure you are close enough to amenities. What I love about our new lake house is it's rural and quiet and secluded. I mean, there was a bear in our neighbor's yard yesterday. But at the same time, we're 20 minutes from downtown Kalispell with restaurants and shopping and movies, and most important for my family, Costco. Even if you love total seclusion, think about most vacationers. They want the best of everything: attractions, activities, shopping and dining, and seclusion. Okay, tip number 5 to owning a vacation home for free is to determine your break-even. When looking at potential vacation homes, follow my 3-step process. First, determine the total potential annual gross income. Do this by going on VRBO and Airbnb.com to see what other similar homes rent for throughout the year. Pay attention to location and features and condition, and especially the number of people it can sleep. Make sure you're comparing to similar homes and nightly rates based on optimal times during the year. Vacation rentals are usually very seasonal. Peak seasons are usually summertime, holidays, and weekends, so rates are higher. And then during the off-season, nightly rates can be much lower. So using supporting data, calculate the number of nights per year and the average nightly rate to get your total potential gross income. So for example, with my Montana house, lakefront homes are consistently occupied during the summer months of June, July, and August, and also all of December. That's approximately 120 days during the peak season at $800 a night. And then let's say conservatively another 30 days of rent during the off season and other holidays and long weekends at a lower rate of $500 a night for a grand total of $111,000 gross potential annual income. Another way to look at it is an average of $740 a night over 150 nights a year. Now, once you understand the total potential gross income throughout the year, step 2 is to calculate the total cost of ownership, including mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, utilities, internet, furnishings, maintenance, and upkeep, including, pool and landscaping or whatever you have. So hypothetically, let's say it cost $4,000 a month or $48,000 a year to own this house. Step 3 would be to divide the total annual cost of ownership by the average annual rental rate. So for example, if the annual cost of ownership is $48,000 a year and you divide that by the average monthly rental rate of $740 a night, that equals 65 nights a year to cover the cost. In other words, of the 150 available rental days throughout the year, you would need to rent 65 of those days to cover the cost of ownership to break even and essentially own the house for free. Now, that's not including a property management fee if you hired a property manager to handle tenants, but that basically leaves 85 days throughout the year to use the house for your own personal vacation house Or you could decide to rent it even more for positive cash flow, which means now it's making you money. Now, it really depends on how often you want to use the property and your goals. Remember, more than likely the same time you want a vacation at the house is the same time everybody else wants to use it, so be very methodical about when you use it. And don't forget, I'm a flipper and I bought this lake house for a huge discount because it needs a lot of work. Once I do the full renovation and redesign, I could easily flip it for a huge profit. So now I own the most spectacular lake house that I'll rehab exactly how I want it and how the vacation rental market wants it, that I can use for free or make positive cash flow renting it or flip it for a huge profit. Now, if you think that's brilliant, leave a comment and say, Jerry, you are a flipping vacation home genius. But honestly, guys, I thank God every day for the blessings in my life. I was dead broke living paycheck to paycheck when I first started out in real estate. So learning how to flip houses and invest in real estate has completely transformed my life, and you can do the same. So next, I want you to watch a video where I break down how to flip your first house in the next 30 days, even if you're dead broke. So watch that now, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. With almost 600 videos, this is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.